Hello, you're watching World Talks on TVP World. My name is Sascha Fahrbach. A last-minute delay at the European Council has once again put the EU-Mercosur trade agreement on hold, highlighting divisions among member states after 26 years of negotiations. With farmer protests in Brussels Friday and some capitals demanding stronger safeguards, the deal now faces both political and social resistance. To examine what this pause really means for European agriculture and the broader economy, we're now joined by Barbara Wieliczko, professor at the Institute of Rural and Agricultural Development, Polish Academy of Sciences. Good to have you back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so Meloni has asked for just a few more extra weeks. In your opinion, how realistic is that, and at what point is this now a political decision or a technical decision?
It has always been a political decision. It started as technical agreements, trade agreement negotiations, but at the end it's always political.
Mm-hmm. So it's always political, and I think to some it may have come as a surprise in the 11th hour, the Italian Prime Minister said, whoa, wait, we need more time with this. If you're looking at how this has gone, 26 years, do you think this is now the final stretch, or are we maybe going to have another 26 years of negotiations?
It's hard to say because the decisions are made based on what we have at the moment of the final decisions. So at this time, we have other issues that influence the decisions. First of all, really the prices, for example, for milk are decreasing very rapidly, and farmers are really nervous about this. And the prices of inputs in agriculture are increasing rapidly, so they are very nervous, and they see no actual measures to support them from the EU, from the national member states. So they are worried, and this is just the last straw to make them go into the streets and protest.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, over the last months, we've seen these protests, farmers angry, not just in Brussels, we've seen them in Germany, in Poland, and other parts of the European Union. But as well, like that fear, let's say the safeguards, now there have been more safeguards, this is a very political process, but is that kind of information in your mind, is that being relayed effectively to the farmers? Do they understand what's in this deal, or is it still an emotional decision?
It's a very emotional decision because they don't know what's in this deal, as they did not know what was in the Green Deal. And whenever you ask farmers, they don't know the details. They are just worried about their incomes and their future, which is influenced not only by prices, but also the problems with finding workers to their farms, and with the prices of energy, the climate changes that influence what they are growing. So they are really worried, they are nervous, they don't know what to expect in the future. And European Union doesn't come to say, we know what to do, we know how to support you. Mm-hmm. And this is why they are protesting, because they haven't received what they are looking for.
So why is that? Why is the European Union, why are the authorities not making this more clear and explaining this to the farmers?
I don't know why. I'm very, very surprised, because after the protests related to Green Deal, there was this strategic dialogue with agriculture, and the result was a report last September that really was something I was really surprised at how good it was, how it encompassed all the issues related to agriculture, the problems to all the stakeholders within the food systems. And at the beginning of this year, there was this vision for agri-food systems in the EU, which was based on this report, and it was really good, but it was very, very general, everything to everybody. And then came July, the first proposal of the European Commission about the future of common agriculture policy, which made the farmers really worried because it did not include anything from the vision. And even the budget for the common agriculture policy is not clearly stated. So they don't know really what to expect. So the European Commission, knowing the protests about the Green Deal, knowing that there were some objections from different member states and farmers about Mercosur, should have done something to show we care about you. And they haven't done that.
Yeah, and it's also interesting messaging, because if we look at the bigger players, we look at France is not really for this. Poland is officially against it. But if we look at Poland itself, and we had actually one of the former EU negotiators for Poland here at TVP World, and he said, I believe just in the last sort of 24 hours, that this deal will and must be signed. So where's the, let's say, the position of Poland really? Because I think at the same time there's fear for the farmers, but is there not also opportunity for them as well? If we look at some cases, I'm thinking also what happened with CETA, with Canada, there seem to be opportunities there. What's the potential for Polish farmers also in South America?
Yes, they are making use of this potential of South America thanks to the soya, and thanks to that they can produce cheaper poultry to the EU market. But they are afraid that Mercosur countries can do it even cheaper. So they have some fears about that. But generally, it's not fear about South America because it's far away and transportation costs are bigger. I think that behind their protests to the Mercosur agreement is Ukraine, because this is something more tangible and real to Polish farmers.
So you're saying that that's a kind of, let's say, litmus test. I mean, Ukraine is next door, also in the process, but we still have time until then. But I'm also curious, I mean, one of the arguments that's being made here, this is a big geopolitical decision, right? This isn't just about farmers, this is about Europe's position, exports, but also strategic value. Do you think that kind of messaging is resonating somehow? Is that going to win the day ultimately, or is that going to fall by the wayside because of emotion?
It doesn't resonate with the general public. It can resonate with the government, so with the people interested in geopolitics, but not with people who are farmers and people who go to shops every day and see the prices and compare. And for them, it's generally prices, or for some also quality. And they've been listening to this debate about pesticides and the food from South America not being as good as the EU one. So they are confused and they don't know who to believe to. So they believe what they see on TikTok or other social media.
Also, talking about worry and confusion, if we look at also the European Parliament, this is also one of those entities in this whole complicated process. I mean, if this deal is postponed again, and if we go into early next year, there's the idea of also the European Parliament looking at it again, referring it even to European Court of Justice potentially. How likely do you think that will happen, and what happens next after that? I mean, does that kill the deal? I mean, the timing would be so long, right?
Yes, but we have Christmas, so this can change a lot, I would say. First of all, I think it will calm all the stakeholders involved, and when they come after Christmas and New Year, I think that they'll be more willing to make a compromise. So this can somehow smooth the process and hopefully make them sign the deal. But if the European Commission remains so thoughtless with dealing with farmers and other stakeholder groups, I don't see a good future for the EU as a whole.
And I think what's also key here is what else is at stake. And when we talk about the farmers, that's one component. We talk about resources that Europe needs, the strategic value of South America as well for Europe. But why does this trade deal matter? I mean, there's also other trade deals in the future, right? Someone else is watching. Tell us a little bit more how this impacts other trade deals that are on the table.
Well, first of all, Mercosur clearly says that they have other possibilities and opportunities, and Asia is a great market, much bigger than Europe. So they have potential to export to China, to India, and these are markets that are not that demanding when it comes to quality and other standards. So it's for them, it's great opportunity. So they can say, we have other opportunities. There is also the history of the relations between some of the EU member states and South American countries. So this is also the thing that somehow some of them can not feel like equal partners. So they would like to show that we have power now, and you have to see that we are not just begging for the deal, we have other options.
Also, you mentioned we have other options. Interesting point, because if we look at this and the average person will say, wow, 25, 26 years of negotiation, that's a long time. But was it the resistance on the European side, or the South American side that it took this long to get here? And we have a particular window right now of opportunity?
We have the need to have this window for both sides to show the positions against the United States with the Trump at the lead. But the other thing is, of course, it's always difficult to negotiate such a big agreement, first of all. The second thing is that still the difference in the level of development exists, and this makes the standards and decisions on the standards and how to control such issues very sensitive and very difficult to put into an agreement.
Mm-hmm. And also, I'm curious by France's position, because Macron has said, quote here, "We're not satisfied," insisting the text must change in nature. So that sounds quite serious. So where are we with France in all this? I mean, they've been against this deal for quite a long time. Could they still scuttle this? What's Macron's position in all that?
Well, I think that they are just waving from one side to the other because they have a great and important agriculture sector that is very strong and very powerful in protesting. But at the same time, they have industry that they have to really find new markets for. So this is, like balancing the protesting powers of these two sectors of the economy. And it is not an easy thing to do because, food makes all the citizens resonate more than cars. So it's a difficult situation, and I think that was the reason for Macron to say, well, we are for the deal in June, and now, maybe not, but still they would like to have the cake and eat it. Mm-hmm. So probably they will try to, wait until someone decides for them. Which is not a good thing for the deal.
Now, with France, we kind of have a background of why there is this. I mean, it's a big agricultural country. They get a lot of benefits, the farmers there, through the common agricultural policy. But if we look at Italy, that's a slightly different story. How much of, let's say, Meloni's reluctance, let's put it that way, is because of maybe she wants something? I mean, they're currently discussing the new budget for the European Union. Does she want something out of this? Is this sort of tactical here, or is she fundamentally against this whole deal?
I think she is very tactical. Different governments have different tactics about these negotiations, and I think that Meloni wants to show that you have to count with Italy, because she was really very good girl recently, and now she wants to show that Italy has power, and we have, as the EU, count with Italy and Italy's resistance to certain things. So I think it's for her political reasons to really show the power of Italy.
All right, so it's always about the dance of politics. So it was 26 years. Let's see if it's a few more weeks or potentially maybe more with Mercosur. Thank you so much again for coming in. That was our guest here, Barbara Wieliczko. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. That concludes World Talks, but stay right here on TVP World for more news and commentary. Goodbye.